Praise the Lord, mightiest prophet of the Lord.
Well, and now, the Lord Jehovah Elohim, Jehovah Elohim, he has spoken with me this past morning, today, this night and morning. The Lord spoke with me, and he spoke with me about events relating to the coming of the Messiah. Again, on this day, the Lord Jehovah, he has spoken with me regarding the coming of the Messiah, and that is what I want to share with the nations of the earth. The Lord has spoken with me this morning at about probably from 3 towards 5 in the morning. The Lord spoke with me about the events relating to the coming of the Messiah and the preparing of the nations for the glorious coming of the Messiah. The Lord took me to the nation of Namibia, and he showed me the condition of the country of Namibia, the nation to where I have been sent. The Lord reminded me that he sent me to Namibia recently. And when he sent me to Namibia, we are all aware, very, very much aware, because it was on global broadcast, live streaming broadcast globally, where cripples stood up and walked, blind eyes opened, where the glory of the Lord pierced through the sun to come to where his servant was standing. He that speaks with you, the mighty prophet of the Lord, the mightiest prophet of the Lord was standing. And so Namibia has seen the glory of the Lord. Namibia has heard the message of the hour, but the land continues in sin. So the Lord took me to Namibia, and again he asked me to pass judgment over Namibia, and I took the rod of God, and just arriving in Namibia like this, before I struck Namibia, a tremendous earthquake hit, a very heavy shaking took place in Namibia. So there is a tremendous earthquake coming, a series of earthquakes coming to Africa. Now the Lord is focusing on the nations of Africa. Nigeria stands warned. If there is any nation that now stands seriously warned for falsehood, false prophets, false apostles, false everything they're exporting left and right, it is now Nigeria. When the Lord will strike you, it will be a lesson to the world. The ears of those that will hear your story will tingle. Right now, the judgments of the Lord that are mowing down the mountains and creating the way for the glorious coming of the Messiah is on the earth. The judgments of the Lord is on the earth, are on the earth. The Lord is now mowing down wickedness, is now preparing the way for the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords, for the King of Glory to come. And so the Lord has asked me to pass judgment, and strictly based on the words of my tongue, there will be an earthquake in Namibia. And the Lord is seeking your attention, is shaking you to seek your attention, to turn away from the witchcraft you see in Namibia, to turn away from the kind of worship of Namibia where you worship your independence heroes. They become God to you. So that now becomes an end. It brings you to an end. That becomes a dead end for Namibia now. The Lord showed me Namibia. He showed me the big tombs, and he called them the altars of worship in the land of Namibia. The big tombs where heroes are buried and all this. And now the Lord has brought his wrath on Namibia, that Namibia may respond to Jesus and organize a national repentance. Namibia, I have struck you with the rod of Jehovah. The rod of the judgment of the Lord is on my hands. It is in my hands. And the Lord is using it now to shake the nations, that they may never afford to ignore him and his voice that calls out to the church, that the nations may return to righteousness, they may receive Jesus and be born again and return to holiness, and return to righteousness, and return to repentance, the true gospel of the blood and the cross of Jesus at Calvary that we received. And I'm reading now from the book of Isaiah 24. He says, therefore in the east give glory to the Lord, exalt the name of the Lord, the God of Israel, in the islands of the sea. From the ends of the earth we hear singing, glory to the righteous one. But I said, I waste away, woe unto me. Therefore the treacherous betray, with treachery the treacherous betray. Verse 17 it says, terror and pit and snare await you, people of the earth. Whoever flees at the sound of terror will fall into a pit, and whoever climbs out of a pit will be caught in a snare. So he goes on to talk about the floodgates of heaven are opened. This is a tremendous time in the history of the earth. It is a time when no nation can escape the attention of the Lord. All nations on the earth were created by Jehovah, not the Eastern religion. The Eastern gods, the idol gods of the Eastern religions never created anybody. And so at this hour, all the nations of the earth will be shaken at the Lord's order, at the Lord's sequence, at the Lord's chronology. They will be shaken one way or the other. And blessed are the nations that heed the voice that speaketh with you now, the voice that is crying out in the wilderness of Africa, crying out to the ends of the earth, that repent and turn away from wickedness. Repent and turn away from sin. Make straight in your hearts a highway for our God. I have seen the Messiah, the King of glory, the Redeemer, coming to take a glorious holy church. Return to holiness. Hearken unto righteousness. Have a right standing with God. I have seen the Messiah coming. May those who have ears prepare their little children, their families, their churches, their lands, communities, and nations for this wonderful, tremendous coming of the Messiah, the righteous one, the anointed one of Jehovah. Shalom.